gentlemen, the show is about to start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, looks like the camera's frozen, is it? Oh, 1 second. It looks like my camera froze up. Let me fix that. Sorry. Yes, it did. Wow. As soon as I hit go live, the camera froze. So give me a second. Did that fix it? Oh, man. Hey, Stephen. Sorry, guys. For some reason, my camera has decided it wants to freeze. Give me a second. Yeah, 1 moment. I'll have to just reboot my camera. Working fine right up until I started the show, of course. 1 moment. Jump off camera and start a few things. Let's see if that worked. Hey, I'm here. Sorry about that, guys. Just let me know, can you see me and hear me? Please let me know. Yeah, as soon as I hit go live, bang, camera died. So I had to go in and do a restart. I'm sorry about that. So how is everybody doing today? Just let me know, please, that you can hear me and audio and video is good before we get started. Jerry says yes. Everyone else agree? So, how's everybody's Sunday morning going? Mine was fine right up until my camera decided to have a moment. So hopefully everything's looking okay now. It probably does. It's weird that it just suddenly, all of a sudden, decided to give up the ghost. But is it looking okay now? Just give me some feedback if the video is good and the audio is good. Jerry said good. Lights are on, Jerry said, but I want to make sure everyone else is seeing everything okay. So how is your Sunday morning going? All good, excellent. That's what I love to hear. Right, so this is a big Delta kit. So it's not one of these you buy and you put in a few bolts and you're done. This is a printer you have to build yourself, and it's from HE3d. They reached out to me and they asked me would I be interested in doing a build of their kit, and I said, yeah, sure, why not? So and that's a big Delta. So it's big build volume. I opened the kit already. Its build plate is 280, and it's so it's 280, and its Z is 600 in Z. So it's a pretty big machine, and it should be a fun build, I guess. And let's see how it goes. I've been up since 4:10 a.m. Oh, was it a call out or something? You're up so early, or did you just have to get work done this morning? And if you hear printers in the background, I'm sorry, guys. I am printing. They're printing. I'm doing Toys for Tots prints, and they're running in the background, and I can't stop them in the middle of a print. So I tried to schedule them, but they weren't done. We'll put up with any background noise if you hear any. So the kit comes with online instructions. It does tell you. You do get a nice instruction or overview kit, which is K280, and it shows you what's in the kit. Yeah, it's really tall. As we get older, we sleep less. I've always been less of a sleep. Then you have a full inventory of what should be in the box. I haven't gone through the inventory. I only opened the box this morning. I did pull out some of the extrusion uprights. 2020 extrusion. I'll do some of the build here, but at some point I'll maybe the next part of the build I'll have to move over my table here, because this small table that I have on the side here, because I don't have the vertical height. Because if I go full size of this hitting the ceiling. So, and with the top and the bottom added to it, I'm about 5 or 6 inches short. My table is about 5 or 6 inches tall. So we're going to build the base of it today. The one nice thing about it is, as part of the kit, everything is numbered. So when you do the first piece of the build, which is part of the base, use bag 1. It has the parts for it. When you do the second piece, use bag D2. And so on throughout the build. So like when you're doing the wheels and so on for the runners, everything is numbered. There's a bag for each stage of the build, which is nice. The last kit I had a bunch of bolts and so on thrown into a box, loosely floating around in a box, with no organization, no management, no nothing. So this kit is already a step up. So let's see how it goes. The first piece that we have to build. So there's another part of the manual that comes with it. Now this is very, very basic. They do have online video instruction. So it takes you through it. So this is the K280. The first part we have to do is build the base. Is this section right here. It's easy enough to follow outlines, and we're going to start with that. So I need 3 of these pieces because it's for a Delta. So I have those already here available. They're extruded ABS. I'm sorry, injection molded ABS. So I need 3 of those, and I need some M4 10s, M3 18s, an idler, and some and the T-nuts. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the side. As soon as my grandson gets here, I'm leaving to pick up my wife. But just being here is really appreciated. Okay, so you know that. So it's really, really appreciated. So I have to make up the base of it. I need 3 of these pieces of extrusion. Make up the base with those 3. So let's get into that. We unwrap these. The only parts that weren't wrapped in the extrusion was the uprights, and I really don't worry about that. Now, one thing: these wraps. You see reflective there. Some metal filings in there when they clean it out. As long as it comes off with the wrapper, I don't mind. But still, yeah, it does come off with it. So when it was machined, some of the filings were in it when it was packed up. And they stuck to the. Just make sure we wrap that away with it. Nobody stepping on the filings. Hey, my ear. In your car eating breakfast. Well, thank you for joining. And thank you for being here. It's been a while since I've done a Sunday stream. Thank you for hanging out with me. So I have these 3 of extrusions. And then I need to prep using bag D1 these pieces that I'm ready to assemble. So let's go do that. See what's in the bag, empty it out. I have 3 bearing idlers. Let's see what else I have here. I have a whole pile of longer bolts. I think I have 3 of those. I should have. Yep, 3 of those. Then I have a pile of T-nuts. And then I have some other button top hex heads. Let me separate these out because they are all lumped together into the bag, which is fine. At least they're segmented. These apart, sort them out a little bit. The T-nuts. Some washers. Sorry, I'm just separating out the contents of the bag. all I'm doing. A lot of T-nuts in here, which is expected. Right. So first thing we need to do, the assembly looks here like I need to put in an idler and the M318s. These are the M318s. And the M318 goes in here with an idler. Does it say where I'm going to put a washer? Doesn't say where to put a washer, so M318 goes in here. The idler goes in between. Okay, that's not the right one actually. I got the wrong one in there. Sorry, 1 second. No, they are the right bolts. They're not fitting. Sorry, 1 second, guys. I need to get this. Oh, I forgot to open my toolkit. Some wrenches, screwdrivers. That's interesting. The M318s, I'm probably missing something, has nowhere to screw into. They're not long enough. Let me verify something here. Sure these are the right ones. They are 18. I'm just checking with the ruler. So let me see. I want to check one thing. I'm just looking at the online instructions over here. Let me jump on PC and share this. Oh, okay. Thank you, Jerry. Because the 18s that I have, that's interesting. Maybe these go in. Get a different wrench. I'm just looking at, there's an online video that I'm checking out. And they say they're using the M318s, but these will not work. What I'm seeing here, M318s are too short. So that's kind of interesting. I think I need longer than M318s, which I may actually. Yeah, it says M318s. But I don't think the 18s are going to fit. I think it needs M320s. Now, let me use my own wrenches, these are better. Yeah, the M318s will not fit. The ones that come in the kit, it needs M320s. But I actually happen to have some. So. Get this assembled. Okay. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you so much. They provided M318s, but the problem with the ones that they gave is they're not long enough to engage in the back here. They actually screw in on the other end. So I replace it with my own M320. And that's the one idler done. So I'm going to refuse my own because these bolts, when fitted, oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do fit. Maybe I misjudged. Maybe barely fitting. Oh, they do, but it's very, very little. Let me see if I can get this one in, and if I can, I'll go back to using the 18. Yeah, they're too short. It should be in M320s. So I'm going to use the 20s that I have myself because I'm not happy with the length of that. So I'm going to prep the 3 of these with our idlers. Yes, please smash the like button, guys. Thank you, Jerry. The liking the channel is good for us. Good for promoting. That's what we need. We need more promotions of makers online. I'm using my own M3. Actually, they're the 25s. Would the 20s work? Yeah, I'm actually using the 25s. Just to hold that idler in there. Doesn't need to be over tightened, it's just holding the idler. I don't find that their bolts are long enough, or a little bit short. Maybe they would work, but I'd rather have it have a better bite on the end when it screws in. So we have 3 of them prepped. The idlers fitted. Next, we need to put in, I'll get my bolts here in case I need them. M4 T-nuts and M4 M410s. These M410s, these are all 10 millimeters. And we need to fit them so the T-nuts are outward facing. So we need to put the bolts on the inside. And a T-nut on the outside. This is going to slide into the extrusion. Hold the extrusion in place. Like so. And you need to put in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one's a bit hard to get into. Maybe in future I should have fitted this before I put on the wheel. idler, but that's okay. We'll make it work. Go. It is a review unit. Yes, they sent it to me. They have been shipping these a while, apparently. But they reached out to me and asked me would I be interested in building their kit. Sure, yeah. So I will feed back to them saying that their bolts are a fraction too short. I will try them later on. They seem a little bit short for me. I'd rather have a bit more of a bite when the bolt goes in here. I like a bit more of a bite when it screws into here, and it seems to be just barely catching it. And I'd rather have it a little bit longer, so that way then it won't work loose as easy. So part of it could be work. Their bolts could be fine. They prefer to have better control. So I will feed that back to them, recommending that they increase those bolt sizes up a little bit because they are, to me, fraction on the short side. No. These are kind of hard to put on because your fingers are on the inside to hold bolts in place. Tightening these will be troublesome as well, I guess. And one more on the outside. So that's the assembled unit. I may take this out and put it back in again later because I need the space to get into the tighten this. And the way it goes together is bring these up. Go over and tighten it up by hand as much as you can. Get it butted up really tight against this. Take that idler. I'm going to take that idler out. It says assembled, but I'm going to take it out of there because it's actually in my way. I'm going to put the idler in after the fact. They're trying to get you to assemble all of this unit first, but I find that idler gets in the way of your hands and it will get in the way of your wrench getting in there as well. Tighten up these nuts. So I'm actually going to take it out of there. That way then I can get in here easier. Wrong side one. Get my hands in here now and tighten it up some more. There's the other wrench I need. This one is an awkward one to get into. That's why I said I took the wrench out. I took the idler out because there's no room for your wrench to get in there. The idler in afterwards. I'll have to take it out of the other ones before I even start. Get it free. One leg done. Sit down so it's easier to get locked into place. So my goal today will be to do the top and bottom and of the frame and maybe even get the sides attached. So it'll be standing. And if I can get that far today, I'll be happy. And then next week we'll do the assembly of the effector and all this kind of stuff as part of next week's stream. Again, get this all assembled is a bit of a process, but it's okay. So far, so good. They're on. I had a look at their online video. Their online video seems to be pretty easy enough to follow. I do wish they showed on their online video that they showed close-ups of what pieces they were putting into each section. They don't. Not. Oh, it's not close enough. I think it could be a little bit closer, so you can actually see clearly each individual component. And it shows you, but it doesn't show you clearly enough. Why I'm going to try and show you here. Build either. And I am expecting thunderstorms, so hopefully we don't get outages. Locked all the way. It moved a little bit on me. I do want to level it. So how's everyone else's Sunday morning going? Anything interesting going on? Oh, by the way, to those who have subscribed to my channel, thank you. We have passed this 1,000 subs. We have actually reached 120 or 119, I believe it is. If you haven't already subscribed and you're watching, please do so. Subscriptions are appreciated. I will be doing this as a series, so please tune in. So that's the first piece done. I have to take out the idler out of these. I'll put the idlers back into them later on, because they do get in the way. For the build order, should be assemble the frame first, and then put the idlers in second. So let's see, a couple of these nuts. Nuts and get it ready for the next part. Just watching some guy on YouTube. Do I qualify? Hey Betty, how are you? Are you not home yet? A mistake. I thought you were supposed to be home last week, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's this weekend getting home. The thing. Wednesday. Okay, I thought it was maybe. Yeah, so it's coming Wednesday. It is. My mistake. All right. So let's get this one on. Hey Vincent, how are you, sir? How's things in Amsterdam? I think we're there. Okay. So now we run this one, and then we put a crossbar. Again, I'm going to remove the idler I put in earlier on. Just finish the stream. Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know you were streaming this morning. I'm sorry. I was busy getting set up this morning. And it's near Rotterdam. Okay. I have one of these in. I'll put in one. I'll fix it later. One that's off. Yes, I'm talking to myself. Sometimes you have to talk to yourself. Conversation. Anyone doing anything fun today? When I'm finished here, after lunch, I'll be taking my son out for practice driving. Just started practicing, but let his driving lessons start next week. Oh, you're still 1080? Oh, okay. I hope my videos are 1080. Should be. I'm actually using I can actually do 4K. My video can do 4K. The camera. Oh no, sorry. 1080 because I have to convert it down. Sorry. I do 1080 because I have to convert down from 4K to 1080 and link it to my computer. As my computer can't take it, the converter box I'm using can only do 1080. Editing the video later for the Everyone Dry box. Okay, nice. Here. Here, I'm just tightening this on. Then I'll put on the top. I'm going to try to finish a game tonight. Okay, which game? I'm not a gamer, so you could name anything and I would not know what it is. Never bought into gaming. My son is the gamer in the house, and my daughter. One last piece, and that's the base done. Then we have to do another one, which is the top. This will actually be the top of the printer. And then we have to assemble the base, which is actually pretty much two of these stacked on top of each other. That's tied in. Now we'll get the last one of these set up. There's the head of our printer. Go over so I can actually get these peanuts to take. Waiting. Good. Tied up. I'm just pushing the extrusion in. Make sure it's held in place tightly, or against the end of the bracket. Making sure these joints here are closed. That's all I'm doing. It's easier to do it on the table when you're doing this one. We got around 10,000 games, all console games. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't think it was 10,000. My son does a lot of Steam games. Make sure this is all snugged up. We can move on to bag D2, it looks like, as I don't have anything. D1 doesn't look like it needs anything addition to these, other than putting the idlers back in, which I'll do momentarily. Oh, by the way, this has a 20. It uses the main board is a MakerBase MKSV1. The MakerBase main board. I haven't checked what steppers on it. I think they're 8-bit steppers. They're all, you can always change those. So that's the base. Just need to put the idlers back in here, and then we should be moving on to the next seat. I showed you the idlers a while ago, so I'm just use my own bolts for length. Just the ones that came with it, I found them a little bit short. I finished my clock a long time ago. Yeah, it's working perfect. It's keeping time. It works. Most of the clocks in my house are electronic. So when I have a mechanical clock like that, when you hear it in the background going click, 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 click in the background, kind of nice actually to hear the clock ticking. So there are some extra bolts here that have not been used, so I have to put that were part of D1, and I'm sure they will have a use later. I'll figure out what they are for. I'll put them back into the bag, and when we need them, we'll resurrect them again. Yeah, but I did a video about the clock and I posted up there a long time ago. I'm going to do more of that kind of stuff as well. I like doing that kind of stuff. As I said, I'm planning at some point to do probably an MPCNC. I need a bigger. I'd like a larger CNC machine. And when I have the 3018s are great for small items. Just can't do larger workpieces. Like that. Something with a little bit more volume. How is your mega printer running? Which mega printer? The really large one? It's running fine. I'm not printing on it right now because it's kind of noisy. I'm printing on it while I'm doing a stream. I print on it. It's glass bed. I was considering putting on a flex sheet on it, but I noticed because of the sheer volume of it, and the glass actually helps flatten out the bed. Without the glass, you will run into some issues on the flatness of it, and you'd have to add a BL touch and all this. Oh, you'd have to add a BL touch and so on to it to get it to get a good level on it, good first layers. So I'm going to leave it as is. I haven't put in the larger nozzle yet, but I plan on putting in a 0.8 nozzle on it. Well, at least a 0.6, probably a 0.8. And at some point, I may exchange its extruder. So that's the upper part of the Delta. Will then be here as the upper section of the machine. Haven't got that set up yet. I'm going to put this aside because I have another part to build. They're over here. And I will put all of these pieces off this together. I haven't used because I'm sure they have a space in the arm to go. Actually, I find the other way. I find ticking clocks can be relaxing. So it depends on the mood you're in, I guess. But personally, to hear a clock ticking in the background is kind of nice. Oh no, I'm dropping pieces. Let me go find out parts I dropped. 1 second, guys. I'd have to get out the magnet. I dropped a small bolt. I'll have to get out the magnet. I have some M3 bolts there anyway, so they look M3s, so it should be okay. There'll be lots of points of probe in the BL Touch large printer. Well, even on my Ender 5 Plus, normally most people do on a 300 by 300 bed, they do a 3 by 3 probe. On a 350, they do by 4 by 4. On my Ender 5 Plus, I do a 7 by 7 probe when I'm doing my BL Touch. So I do way more because I want to get all of that. This needs 6 of these. 2, 4, 6. So I have 6 of these to assemble. And this is to make up another one of these, but it's 2 layers, and that will then can cover the yeah, I like the ticking of a clock. It doesn't faze me at all. So I have to assemble all of these again. Difference is, one thing they're doing is interesting here. They're using this and a stepper as part of the infrastructure. Motors. In the base, you have your stepper, and your idler bolts on here and bolts on here. Your stepper motor becomes part of the frame. It's like that, which is kind of interesting. So you're actually using the stepper motor itself as part of the build frame. Curious, but it's very strong. It's a strong, hefty aluminum body, so I can't see it won't cause any harm. But it is an interesting approach. So I have to do another set of these with no. Okay, I need to see this 1 second. Where am I? There's another one here. I just want to see where the idlers go on the top or the bottom. Let me see what goes in between. Okay, right. So I need my motors for this first. Three steppers out of the box. And I'm going to have to attach the stepper motors using the kind of D2, this bag, over here. And I'm going to have to assemble the idlers, first of all, onto each of my motors. So where is my wrench for the idlers? I'm going to set them roughly. I'll actually have to adjust them later. Roughly setting them. These are my X, or the X, Y, and Z's on a Delta. When we get everything assembled, we will do the final. So just setting them A little bit of gap top and bottom. Mostly more gap on the bottom and top. Make sure that it's facing. And when we assemble everything and put the belts on and adjust. Up again. Because the motors have a flat face and I never tried the idler in flat surface. Get a good lock on it. Okay, 3 idlers ready. Now, once these are done, I'm just looking at the layout. You know what? I'm going to put in, before I do this, I'm going to put in my T-nuts on this because I had problems with the T-nuts. I'm going to fit my T-nuts on this first. Because these will have to go into extrusion later on. And there's an idler will have to go in here, and this is going to get in the way of it. Fitting it later. I learned from the last one. So, what else is happening, guys? Any interesting projects you're working on, or any other fun stuff? No? No, Jerry's working on a video for the area one filament dryer. I have a filament dryer. The only one I got. And I love it for keeping stuff dry during a print. All of your printers are down? I know you had one that had a bad stepper motor, but all of them? 3 or 4? No, you have multiple printers. How can you survive without having a printer working? It's like saying there's no air anymore. Sorry, I'm just getting it. This is the boring part, putting all these bolts in. I'd say if you, going by what I've seen, I'd say 301 resin, all down. Wow. Vincent put them in a... Jerry's being a smart ass again. Yeah, of course he is. Wouldn't be Jerry otherwise. I might not hire shelves so they won't be down. Or take them, or buy them chocolates to cheer them up. They won't be down anymore. Just digging through these, getting them all together. Lots of T-nuts. A bit like what when DeWitt Tim was doing his rat rig build and so on. He's putting all these T-nuts on. You're watching him, and the whole stream is putting T-nuts together. I know what it's like. I ordered 2 stepper for him at one end there. Oh, you're out of parts. Oh, Yeah, I'm just putting all these together. That's all I'm doing. Because I'll have to put extrusion around these at some point. And there's 6 of them to be done, so. You know, unless you're doing nylons, you don't need to be doing ongoing drying in most cases, depending on where you live. But I find, or I use a food dehydrator is the best thing. And then if I'm using something that needs to be dried long term, like it's very humid in the summer and I want to print PETG, I will actually put the PETG into a dehydrator just to maintain the dryness. But just to get it dry, I generally just do it on with the food dehydrator. Working on a 2-meter backlight. All right. I'm making a box for it. Okay. Sorry, this is not the interesting part. Lots of T-nuts. Oh, by the way, do you see this? One more I haven't had. See this stack? All empty spools. Boys for Tots is chewing up that filament like crazy. Hey, Des Logos, how are you? Thank you for dropping in. I know Sunday morning is not good for everybody, but I did ask, and most people said, because I used to do them Saturdays, most people say Sunday, 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 Sunday. So I said, okay. And when they're doing them, I try to do them on Sundays whenever possible. One more. I'm almost there. I'm getting there. One other thing. There. I'm just getting all of these put together. Then I don't have to deal with it in the stuff getting in the way later, like the idlers and so on, because these are assembled slightly differently than the last. So this kit is the Delta printer, 280 by 600 bill volume. A large bill volume. It would be cool to make parts. Oh. Yeah, I've made some spool holders. Or make parts out of the old spools. There's a site called Digital Taxidermy. They have Martin Henshaw is part of them, and they have kits that you can print, and you can turn your empty spools into models. So the spool is a core, and you plug in models into it, connect them into it, make up different things like an observatory out of a medieval type of setup and so on. So you can use them in games, and that's a cool idea. Okay, so I need stepper motors. Stepper motor 1 will be bolted on. This will be attached here. Your stepper motor. There's a little notch. And then the other one will go on beside that. And that makes up part of the base of the frame. And this is why I had to put these in first, because we're going to get the idler and so on is going to get in the way. So this needs to be attached with need 2, 4, 8, and I should have 12 of these. 7, 7, 12. Okay, perfect. So, we're going to attach these smaller bolts and we need to make sure that the stepper motor is turned in one specific direction for the wiring. So let me turn this around. Sorry, I'm doing this on the table because it's easier to balance. Kind of awkward to get into, but doable. Patience. Let's see if I can get a wrench in there. This is really narrow to get into. Doable, but operations to get there. I'll get the next one started. I need to check if I have a. I think I have a ball head wrench. Fit that. I can't. I have to find my the ball head would actually make assembling these easier. Get a ball head wrench. To make, oh, sorry, same comment. Okay. Is there any questions right now? I think this is available for $230 to $240. This kit. It's on Amazon, which is in the description, by the way. Link to it's in the description. It's on Amazon and it's on AliExpress. I think AliExpress is a fraction cheaper. Amazon have their fee. That's the first one attached. Second one will be butted on right beside it. I want to check one thing though. I'm going to put that bolt. Like. No. Downward. Okay, so these again are another one. Again, awkward to put together, but linear rails, no. It's using palm wheels on a bracket that will run up and down the Z rods, which is 2020. And it's all the part is already there. Sorry, this fell off. Oh no, there's no rails. Could you always fit it out with rails? Yeah, you could. It doesn't come with rails by default. People with big hands will struggle a little bit with these parts. Like me. Getting your fingers in between these to hold to get together is kind of hard. Let's see if I can get a wrench in there. I don't know if I can. I can a little bit. So in. Okay, get the next one on, then I'll tighten them down. HC, how are you? I have another treat coming in Tuesday or Wednesday, should be arriving. An extruder to add to an existing ender printer, quality printer, make it print chocolate. Big hands plus gravity, yes. And you know exactly what that's like, don't you, Tim? your streams are drop central, and I know how you feel. Hard to tighten down. Not an awful lot of space in here. Probably not going to go anywhere, but still. Let me make sure it's tight. Thank you, Jerry. Jerry's my PR man. Okay, so Simon's going to get it. I'll see if I can do any better. So that's what we're trying to look for. We're going to make up 3 of these. And what will happen is the uprights of the extrusion, this is not the uprights, but these will go on attach here. Make another triangle, but double stack triangle shape like we did for the first section. We did with the top. And then the extrusion, the long extrusion for the Z, will actually slide down into these. And make our uprights. So I have 3 more of these, or 2 more of these to make up. Which are fun. They're tiny. I want to make sure it's all pointing the same direction. Okay. My cabling, the ports for the cables, my steppers, will always be pointing. That's easy. So check out the links in the description, guys, to their Amazon store. Now, we don't know yet for a few weeks how this will print or anything yet, but it is something you'd always develop and update yourself to be whatever you want it to be. So if it prints great, then the problem's over, right? Once you assemble it. And if you want to do tweaking to it, well, being a kit, ideally designed for makers, right, to make changes to it. People like us and people like Stephen Poole out there who loves building and assembling and taking stuff apart. Thank you, Tim. It's really appreciated. How many people do we have watching here? All right, so let me, where was I? Sorry, I'm just trying to get, these are really awful big hands. Now you could have mold, a slight change in the molding of this, and it would make it easier. They put a hole here, the wrench could go down all the way in. They're having to do it at an angle. Small things, nothing major. These are all doable, they just take time, especially with someone with larger hands. My hands are not really big by any measure, but they're big enough to cause typing on the screen issues and a cell phone. Cell phones can be, touch screens are troublesome for me sometimes. These are all. It's just because of their size and the limited space you have to work in. This would be an ideal candidate for a right-angled powered driver. Everyone's being very quiet in chat. What are you all up to, guys? Okay, part one done. Second one needs to be attached. Even more awkward because they're butted up against each other. Printer is, yes, 280 by 600. Yeah, that's it. And it's cheaper on, actually, it's a little bit more on Amazon, I believe. Jerry, I think that was the AliExpress price you were posting. Maybe I'm wrong. Second. That's the Amazon product link. Are you using your referral links on those, Jerry? But they'll refill that. They actually initially told me they had a limited supply in Republic. And well, that's good for the Czech Republic, but I'm in the US. So. You should. You can go use your referral link if you want to, Jerry. Go ahead. Since you're helping me out, of course you can. And there's an if you it's in the description. There's an AliExpress link there as well. I think it's a little cheaper on AliExpress. Let me see. Do I have a arrangement? It's going to take a long time. I think this will make my life so much easier. So there you go, Jerry. Good done. Down. The other one to make sure I had it done right. Wasn't tight enough. That's one. We'll retighten these with the longer wrench. You need the ball head wrenches, 6 wrenches. The long arm ones will make it. This makes this job way easier. 2. Now, number 3. 1, continue. Yeah, use Jerry's preferred link because he's got gets awards and stuff for that, and I have no objection whatsoever. Jerry's always helping out and stuff. No problem using. I don't have an Amazon referral, and if someone can make, because even though it doesn't cost you as a user anything, if you buy one of these kits using that link, there's a tiny little bit of a kickback from it. That's always a good thing, right? So these referral links are a good thing. I just noticed, and I should have noticed this earlier on. On these, you see right up here, there's a little groove cut into it. Right there, on both sides. The right angle. The long range hex key. That's actually a good thing. They actually thought of that. So they actually have built in path for a long hex key. They didn't give you a long hex key. They should have, because if they wanted you to use long hex key, but they give you short hex keys, but still they have it built into it to accommodate for a long hex key to reach. That's decent planning actually on the part of the designers. Okay, these up. So 3 of them prepared. Next, assemble the base. So I want all of these pointing the same direction all the way around. That way then I can run the cables off them into the board. Unwrap these. Leave it there. Slide on and make up my base of the printer. Again, I'm going to put this on the table. It is way easier for me when this is on the table. Thought I had the right range long key for this. I don't. I'm just attaching unit like this. It's just easier to do it on the table. Dropping my nuts everywhere. Peanuts are falling out all over the place. See, it's like a DeWitt stream. Okay, that's one out of 6 to be done. I will do each side, complete it, and move on. Everyone's being very quiet in chat. Oh, by the way, monetization is turned on my channel. I finally got there now that I passed the 1,000 mark. Just so you know, it is available out there if anybody is feeling generous. Anything that comes in goes towards the channel always. Just as in charity makers on Twitch and so on, everything goes through the channel. Actually, there's more going in charity makers, more going towards charity makers. I think that's going to be pretty busy starting in the next couple of weeks once IC3 release the final designs next year. Oh, thank you for posting that there, Cherry. Yeah, charity makers is going to be it's going to be busy. I'm already like a lot of us have started printing really early, and like I have over 900 items already, toys already printed. There's actually some guys out there who already printed more than I do, than I have already. And so we all want to get a head start and get more toys done. The more toys we do, the more kids will wake up on Christmas morning with more stuff. Hey John, how are you? I'm just assembling this kit, the HE3d big Delta printer, but it's a kit, so you have to comes as a whole pile of pieces and you have to assemble it. That's fun, right? You like to build. Right now I'm working on the base. I already have the top done. So it's a 280. It's a Delta printer, so it's 280 by 600 build volume. So it's a pretty sizable build volume on it. I'm just putting together the base of the system. I already have the top of it done, the head. This will be the base where our main board and all this kind of stuff will be set up. The power supply is external to this. I didn't see anywhere where the power supply mounts on the inside, so it's an external power supply, I believe. We'll get a better look at it when we get to that. Probably be next. Trying to do about 2 hours or so today. Then maybe finish off the actuators and the effector setup and so on next week. I maybe even get the belts installed. Wait and see how it goes. I am. I should be. It has been approved. It's all done. So what's not working? Hey, local maker. If you see something not working, let me know. I haven't, because it's the first time I've streamed since I got monetized. Reached partner with YouTube. Give what time? Oh, they already said everything was approved. Yeah, all done. They didn't send me the pin. They only do the pin when there's money already in the channel. That's what they said. Okay, so I have 1, 2. I have to put on 2 uprights here, and then I'll mount the next motor. Yeah, they said I didn't need to do that yet. They said I don't have to do that. You don't have to do that until there's actually money in your account. Unless they misspoke in what they said to me on email. Yeah, I will. I'll double check. Thank you for that information. So there's no option in there for on my chat for I'm not looking at it right now. Let's see if there's no option in the chat. Should be. Oh, that's weird. Okay, then I'll go back and double check with them. But if you're feeling generous, my PayPal link is in the description until I get the ability to do the super. It should be there, but apparently it's not. So I'll go back and double check with them. Just doing paperwork, well, that's AdSense is already set up. That's already done. And it's already linked. That's already done, John. See, it's great having other makers in here who've been through this before to really help. You find me another community that'll be as open to help you out like this. Good luck. Maker community has been phenomenal. It is tightened up, and I have one more to do. 2 more uprights and then 1 more corner piece to install. And that's our base done. We may even get in the uprights today, so we'll see how big this machine really is. I think after that we'll stop after that today. And then tomorrow, or next week, we'll go back into doing getting the effectors installed and the other fun stuff. Oh, thank you, Jerry. That's a lot from you, Jerry, because I know you can't really afford it. Thank you so much, Jerry. It's really appreciated. Okay, that's 2. We have to put on this one over here, and then we have to put in the cross pieces. I want to keep the motors all going the same way, so they're all pointing up this way and then down over here. The more kits I do, the more I like them. I know it takes a long time to get from A to B. Like an existing printer is fun because you take it out of the box and it works in most cases. But doing a kit, actually getting involved in building something, that's actually like I like building stuff anyway. Anyone else feel the same about doing kits over pre-built machines? Don't get me wrong, pre-built machines are great. They have their charms. It's easy to assemble in most cases and to get them set up and running, and you can do live print day one, but a lot to be said to getting in there and actually putting the machine together from scratch yourself. I know it comes with instructions, it comes with all of that, but still doing it from scratch. You learn how it all goes together. You learn a lot more about machine construction doing it this way than you do from a pre-built machine where you add 4 bolts and you're done. One thing I will do before off camera, you know, Jerry, $5 is still a lot, right? And I know it's not something you can, it's readily available for you to afford. Seriously appreciate it. Okay, that's that done. Now 2 more pieces to put on and the base is ready. So let's get into those. Even though there is swarf inside in it, on the plastic, it actually doesn't come off when you take out the extrusion. It's not there. So it actually sticks to the swarf sticks to the plastic, the piece of plastic used to protect the extrusion. On. Over, it's easier if it's the other way around. I'm not actually looking at my phone now, so people are sending PayPal. I know Jerry did. If anyone is sending anything, I'm sorry. I will get to you in a minute. I will check in a moment before the stream is over. I'm just trying to get some of this built today. And everybody and anybody, if you have, you will be acknowledged. Get this thing together. I was going to say, one thing I will do offline is I'll put this on a very flat surface. I'll make sure everything is squared up, retighten it all again, because I'm doing it right, half of it in the air right now, so you're not guaranteed it's there. My table is pretty good, but still, I would rather put on a really super flat surface and verify it. There goes my wrench shooting across. I'll have to find that one. I'll have to go revert back to this one. Not even the right one. This one. It's playing out of my hand when it's shooting across the room there. In amongst my printers, so I'll have to go find it later on. Have it ready for next week. We got more assembly to do. I've even got more to do today, but we'll get back to this. Do the smaller range. Fine. Just take a little bit longer. Bear with me, guys. My long range ended up on the floor somewhere, and I'm just using this now. Part 1. Yes, I agree with you, Jerry. At least with PayPal, you don't get. YouTube doesn't take their 30 or 40% or whatever it is, and when you're doing it on Twitch, they take their 50%, I believe it is. So half of what you give on Twitch actually goes to the YouTuber. YouTube is similar. Okay, one more piece to attach here, and then we're done with the base. Done. Day's almost done. Yeah, for those who are watching, thank you so much. It's really pleased. You know, we do stuff for you as the audience. Why we're on here doing stuff, so you see this kind of setup. These kits that we work on. You see these new printers that come out. All about bringing information to you, so you can make your decisions on, and if you want to buy a product, you'll have seen it being set up and working somewhere else. not just going by the manufacturer's advertising speed, right? And there's not wrong with advertising. In the industry I work in IT, it's in my company. I see how creative advertising can be. Creative advertising is good for companies, not so good for the consumers because it's creative advertising. And the stories are told that are objective. And that's the whole job of advertising, right? But more information we can get to you that is first hand, it's actually better for you as the consumer, as the end user. Please comment. Yeah, someone else say something, so Jerry's not the only one chatting. They'll even though he's a mod, they'll tag him and they'll. I think that's what happened to me on Conroe's chat. I commented a lot, and even though I'm not a mod in their chat, I commented a lot on their. Answering questions that people ask in their chat, and I keep getting pinged and not allowed to. I'm allowed to respond to other chats. I can't post my own. I can't post my own comments. I have to respond to others because in this terms and service pop up, and I can't go in, even though I agree. I click on I agree. It doesn't allow me to create my own primary chat. Maybe on Conroe's channel, it's because I comment so much when I'm on their streams. It appears like I'm spamming them. Jerry mentioned just there. I think that's what I get. Sir Jerry of Spamalot. Jerry's new name, Jerry of Spamalot. I agree. That's what we should call him from now on, Maker. Okay. The base. Done. We have our base. The next thing we need to do is do our uprights, I believe. Let me verify. Do these, I need to, that goes in here. Verify something here. Verifying the steps needed. Okay. And I'm just looking at the instructions here to make sure I got it right. The online instructions are okay. So I'm going to run out the vertical height here. So I need to do these babies. And they basically slide in. Slide in, so they're flush. Back here. Flush. That. I may want to tap that with a hammer. I'm going to hang this over the edge of my table because I find it vertical. Need to get a ball peen hammer. I'm going to tap it so all I'm doing, I'm not breaking stuff. I'm tapping the peanuts. Holes. Like this. Basically, positioning the peanuts under the opening. We got a cap head. Cap heads go in there and get an attach, and that attach. Dug. Next one. Notice the branches. Back to team. Every time Hey Larry, how are you? So we're just finished the base of the printer of the Delta kit. Putting in the uprights now. The uprights are tall. Oh, and I can't do them up table. And when it's assembled, I'll step back and show you. Like it's a big printer. Just tapping, get a flush. In these T-nuts, hold the base, right? Actuated for the and you know it, one always goes in sideways. And then the other corner, set up, then I'll attach the top of it. This is a 280 by 600 Delta build volume. Really large Delta. Tap. And all else fails, one hammer doesn't work, get a bigger one, right? So for that, Collins failed. Hammer. Mortina. So there's the base attached to the uprights. This is what we're dealing with. And it's on the ground. Actually, now I know what those bolts were for. D1 attach uprights. It wouldn't be a stream without some stuff on it. Come on, we all do it. Just putting in the rotation. By the way, guys, if you're streamers out there, go to your own channel. Whole game about putting ourselves. You're here for. I haven't read the reviews, so I do not know what you're referring to. I try to avoid looking at reviews of a product before I check it out myself. So if they're, I don't know if they're good or bad. I really do not. And you know what? We'll find out. I do know there's mods out. There's changes in the manufacturer. Concerned about that. Good thing. Here. I do not know what the reviews are like. Well, it also this attaches on top. So use the hammer, just tap it slightly down to the. Not that it needs it. I just want to before I clean it. Two. 3. So our frame monster. Depends. I'll measure it. Depends about guessing about. Initially, first thoughts, the frame is a bit of a. There's ways to make that more rigid. More rigid. 2020 maybe mods out there. Cross bracing. Why have the what I'll be working on. Guys, what do you think so far? Big printer. Any thoughts? Any input? Any suggestions? Nobody? Everyone's been so quiet. Audio's going in and out. It shouldn't be. That's interesting. I'm sorry if the audio's playing up. I don't know why. No, it's not my internet speed. But base frame done. And I said I'd go for 2 hours. We're just coming up to 2 hours now, so that's good timing. Next week, we'll fit the actuator. We fit the main board as well to the base. MKS, maker base main board. Actuator. Between and the main. Hopefully. Oh, it's because it was far away. All right. Well, yeah, that mic is designed for up. And then maybe I'll get the actuators installed as well. I mean, start on the actuator for the effector for printhead. We'll see how far we'll get with that. Probably won't get it all done next week. Batch of it. Next week is all more fine tuning. Electronics, some of them. And we should. Any questions or anything else? Anyone? Any input? Anyone have any queries about the machine, about the kit? So far, everything's in there, and there are online instructions. They have online videos as well. The videos are pretty good. I said the only thing their videos are missing is up close, showing you each individual piece. So like what goes in what order, like the washers. They're in kit P1 that I didn't see anywhere there. But each part is numbered. So you have, like I've done 1 and 2. Next we'll be starting the main board, which is, then we have the palm wheels and stuff like that, which is bag 4. So each section is actually labeled up, and there's a video associated with each bag about what has to be on YouTube. So you can follow the YouTube step by step. I'm guessing if you sat down and did it on your own, all of it, you could do it in a day. Yeah, you do. This is 2 hours because half it's me showing you stuff. Yeah, you probably assemble it in 2 or in a day on yourself, maybe 5-6 hours work, I'm guessing. All right, well, if there's nothing else, I will say thank you for hanging out with me today. Please, thumbs up. They really help. If you're not already subscribed, please do so. Spread word. If you're, I will be still doing my hangout on Twitch on Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. But also, in the meantime, if you're sitting around at home and you have nothing else going on, or if you work out at home or whatever, if you go to Charity Makers on Twitch, Jerry posted on Charity Makers, one word. And if you go to Charity Makers and just have the tab open on your browser and mute the tab. Oh, okay. I will check. I'll have to check that again, Jerry. Thank you. but I will check out Charity Makers and just have it running in the background as a tab on your computer. Mute the tab, not mute Twitch, but tab itself in your browser. That way, then it shows you as a viewer, because when you mute your audio in Twitch, it doesn't actually takes you out of the. But if you leave it on and just mute the tab, it actually and some watches, because over on Charity Makers we're over there. That's right. 5 printers running doing toys for. So, yeah, thank you, Jerry, for posting. Well, at that, if there's nothing else, I thank you again, and I'll see you on my Hangout, and and Jerry's Hangouts on Saturday, and I will see you on a visit to Charity Makers. There you will be 24 hours a day. Thank you, guys. Have a great day, and I hope you have a good remaining of your week. And I will see you. Thank you. Take care.